Hey there, everybody. Welcome to the podcast. It's all about solar. And I am your host, Robin Fahmy. I am here in the Dallas-Fort Worth Metroplex area, and I am just happy and grateful to be here right now with all of you. Um, I just have to say, I love my intro music. I'm sure at some point it will change, but right now, when I hear that sound, it just lets me know that it's time to get fired up and ready to go and let's solar up. So that's what we're doing. I hope that it becomes a signal for you all so that when you hear that music, you know that here comes Miss Robin, and let's go and have a seat and take a listen. Who knows? Maybe one day I'll have some lyrics. Maybe somebody out there listening is a good storyteller or an excellent writer, and you might write me a hook or two. As the youngsters say, I need a beat. And as the Temptations would say, drop the beat. Okay, so here we are, just having a little bit of fun. When I come to you all on Thursday evenings at 6:30 in the evening, it's about having fun as well as the education aspect of it because it's what I love. It's where I want to be, and I look forward to doing bigger and better things as it relates to solar energy, sharing information about solar energy, helping homeowners to just learn more, become smarter. Because what I want to do is tell you everything that you don't know about solar energy, everything that you don't know about how it could possibly be good for you, whether or not it's something that you should be aware of. Because as I have mentioned before, solar panels are not good for every home, and you have to keep that in mind. And I think you guys are going to be just perfectly fine because, every week we're here, even though we're saying the same thing over and over and over again, maybe in a little bit different way each week. Um, who knows? But you will learn. You will understand solar. You will be able to equalize the buying experience based on your knowledge. Okay. So, again, I am your host, and I am very happy and very grateful to be your host, Robin Fahmy. My company is Solar Logics EDU. You can look us up on the internet, of course, www.solarlogicsedu.com. Now, Logix is spelled with a little bit of a twist. LOGEXS edu.com. So go over there and take a look, and hopefully you will find something interesting there. Keep in mind that SolarLogix EDU, first and foremost, is a solar energy education company and sales organization. So what that means is that we intend to be out here sharing information about solar, teaching homeowners how to correctly interpret information about solar energy so that you become smarter. Okay. And so that whenever you are approached about solar, about sitting down for an appointment, and about purchasing solar, the finance aspect of it, that 30% tax credit, how does all of that work? you will know and understand. As a matter of fact, the salesperson that sits at the table with you might have to get up and leave. And I really mean that because people who are out here selling solar, and believe me, I do not mean any harm to any of them. I am all for everyone, everyone making a living, and I'm all for everyone making a good living. And you can make a really good living selling solar energy. But I have absolutely no stomach for those people who intentionally knock on your door with the intention to sell you solar, whether you need it or not. So let it be known, I am anti solar sales by any means necessary. I don't agree with it. I don't agree with that salesperson telling you that you're going to get a 30% tax credit because the government is giving a 30% tax credit. And if you buy solar today, you will get it. Well, you don't know that. And the reason you don't know that is because listen to the words. Every now and then we do solar languaging and solar vocabulary. And a part of that is how they put it all together. You know, they'll tell you that solar is not going to cost you anything. And then, you know, you get qualified. And now you're qualified. We've got the finance company on the phone and they're sending you through the process. But what that really means, no cost. When you hear Texas is giving solar away at no cost, well, what that really means is that no cost out of your pocket today. But once you're qualified, once a finance company is in place and they agree to advance monies, a loan on your behalf to the installer, then at some point you got to pay that back. So if you have to pay it back, how is it that it's free? Well, it's not. When you hear that solar is free, you run as far as you can get because it is not free. As long as you have a qualifying credit score, which is usually 650 and above, then you don't have to come out of your pocket with any money. Now, keep in mind that you can always pay cash for a system. Always. You can finance it on your own credit card or you can pay cash for it and not have to use a finance company. That's the best way to go for anybody who can. That is the absolute best way to go because that keeps you in control of your money and it keeps other people out of your business. And that's what you want. You don't want people having the ability to hold this loan over your head and, you know, pull strings to make you jump. And that is very, very, very important to me. And that's why, excuse me, that's why my purpose and my passion is to make sure that you understand how to work it because what I always say is solar it works if you know how to work it. And that's my job is to teach you how to interpret all information regarding solar energy so that you can make the best decisions possible for you and your family and your home and you can work it you can work solar in your favor and so that's it in a nutshell. That is how it all works. And again, I am anti solar energy sales companies and sales representatives. Honey, God, sales representatives who don't tell you the truth. Okay. And that's where we're going to go in right now, making sure that we understand all these different components. So, is adding solar panels to your home something that is going to benefit you? Well, first of all, why do you want solar panels? Why are you thinking about adding solar panels to your home? What has brought it up? I know a lot of people see commercials on TV, or you may be in a situation where you're in the company of someone who has solar panels and they talk about the benefits that they have gained. Usually, you may hear someone say, I got solar panels and I haven't had an electric bill, or my electric bill has come in a whole lot lower than it once was. And a whole lot lower might mean that you're getting a bill for $50, $30, or $20. That's usually what that bill drops to once you have solar. Now, in a lot of cases, the bill will be zero. Okay. But if it's not zero, and for some reason, you have to pay a bill, it's usually going to be pretty low. And if that's the case, it could be for a particular service charge. It could be just that you didn't have enough production to cover all of your charges. And so now you have this small bill. So you're going to pay that small bill, but you're also going to pay your monthly payment to the finance company for your panels. So how it works is, yes, you will still get a bill from your electric company, okay? But you will also get a monthly bill from the finance company. And if everything is set up properly, it will be what is considered to be a true bill swap. And what that means is that whatever your average monthly bill was in the past, then you will be paying that money on your panels. And anything that you would have to pay to the electricity company is going to be very, very minimal. So keep that in mind. Um, the real reason, this is not a secret, but the real reason that most people will begin to start considering solar is because you're just tired, really tired of high electricity bills, okay? It's about to be summer. Okay, so we just ended winter, and for some reason this year seems to be a little bit different in that we're in the spring right now, but it still feels a little bit like, the tail end of winter, which it is, but because we've had still more cloudy days than we have had sunny days normally this time of year. I know April usually brings a lot of rain, a lot of storms, and things of that nature, but here in Texas, we get a lot of sun hours. And starting about now, we would have had probably more sun hours than we have had. So that's, something to keep in mind, is that the weather patterns are actually changing, and they're changing in a way now that the ordinary person can realize it. You can see it. You can understand that climate change is real, and the patterns are changing, and they are very, very noticeable. And with those noticeable pattern changes, um, you recognize that there's not as much sun as there normally would be this time of year. So, what I'm hoping is that as we move closer and closer to summer, we've still got about maybe 40 days, maybe a little less than 60 days until the first day of summer, which is June 21st. And as we move closer and closer to summer, then we should have a lot more sunny days. And in the winter, solar still works because as long as you've got sunshine, it's going to work. Now, you may not have um, a lot of sunshine in the winter, but you may have enough still to produce the amount of energy that you need to offset your bill, um, so that it comes in at zero. But in the dead of winter, like January, February, end of December, January, February, when we usually have that longer cold spell, and we can have snow and we can have ice, and then we have more and more cloudy days. On those, in those situations, you are not producing as much energy. And if you're not producing as much energy as you need, then you will get a bill. And when you get a bill during that time, it will be more of a regular bill. So, as we said, your average electricity bill is calculated by taking 12 months of payments, adding that all up, and then dividing by 12. And whatever that number is, that is your average. It doesn't mean that you're paying, let's just say it's $300. It doesn't mean that you're going to pay $300 every month, but it means that you paid 300 for 3 months, then you may have paid 150, or you may have paid 400. But when you add up all 12 months and divide it by 12, that's your average. And when we design a system for your home, we need to customize that system in a way that it is going to produce for you exactly the amount of energy that you're using now, and a little bit more. Because if you're producing a little bit more, then certainly your bill should come in at zero. And, when you talk to different um, solar companies, their sales reps, they will speak this to you in a variety of different ways. But what they are wanting to communicate to you is that by going solar, you're not going to have an electric bill at all. And that may or may not be true. Like, say, for instance, if you live in an area where your electricity is mandated by a co-op. Well, sometimes co-ops won't even let you offset 100%. So if a co-op will only let you offset 90%, and then you've still got 10% of energy that you are definitely going to be pulling from the grid. And if 90% is not enough production to cover the whole thing, then that would be a reason that you would have a bill. So what I want you to do is just make sure you listen. Listen for the words that come out of their mouths. Listen for the words that come out of their mouth. And one word that I want you to hear and understand is the tax credit. The government is giving a 30% tax credit. That means that if your solar system costs $30,000, 30% of that, let's just say it's $9,000. $9,000 is the tax credit that you should expect to get. Now, that solar sales rep will have you believe that when you file your taxes, that you are going to get $9,000 in your hand as a refund. But you know the difference between a refund and a credit. You already know that a refund is money, in this case, that you get in your hand, or they will direct deposit it into your account, or you will get a check in the mail for $9,000. That is a refund. A refund means they are going to give that amount of money back to you. Okay? Now, you also know what a credit is. You know what a debit is. A debit is money that has been taken out of your account. A credit is money that has been charged. Well, credit is they gave it back. Debit, they take it out. Credit, they gave it back. Okay, so you're getting a 30% tax credit. So the credit means that it is there for you to use. It is money that you can use to pay your liability, your tax liability. So if when you do your taxes, when you file your taxes, if you owe money, then that credit is there. There is a form that you will fill out. Let's just say you get solar on your house. You got it last year in, let's just say you got it in October. Okay, so you got it before the end of the year. Now, when April rolls around of the next year, you should be able to claim that tax credit. And the way that you're going to claim it is there is a form, an energy credit form. I don't know the number right now, but there is an energy credit form that either you can look up and print it yourself off of the internet and fill it out. Or when you go to your tax person, let them know that you got solar and you want to claim your tax credit. They will then provide that form and they will fill it out. And whatever the amount is, that is 30% of whatever you paid for your system, then they'll fill it out and they will know that you have a credit for $9,000. Let's just say that. Then, as your tax person is going ahead and completing your taxes, and they see that you owe $5,000. Okay. So if you owe $5,000, you can be happy. You can be excited because you've got a $9,000 credit over here waiting to be used. So your tax person will be able to utilize $5,000 of that credit to pay what you owe to the Internal Revenue right now. And then you will have $4,000 left that will roll over. And next year, if you owe money, if you owe $4,000 or more, then the $4,000 will help to bring down what you owe. Or if you owe less than $4,000, then they'll take $2,000, put it towards your taxes, and then you will still have $2,000 that will roll over again for the next year. That's how that tax credit works. But let me tell you, these sales reps, they are slick. I mean, slicker than slick, slicker than oil, because when they're talking to you about going solar and the fact that you don't have to pay any money out of pocket, and the fact that you're going to get this tax credit back, and so you're not really paying the full amount, or they would have you believe that you're not paying the full amount that they're talking to you about right now. You're not really paying $30,000. You're paying 20, what is it, 30, $29,000, okay, for your system, because you're going to get the 9,000 back. And then you're going to be able to pay your loan down by that amount. And there you go. Your payments will remain the same as they start out, and you're good to go. But what's going to happen if you don't get that tax credit in your hand? If you don't get it, then that means that you're not going to be able to pay your loan down by that amount. And that usually means that your payment is going to now go up, because usually what they will do is they will qualify you, get you connected with the finance company. The finance company will fill out all of that information and they will start your payment out low. because they don't know if you're going to get the tax credit or not. They don't know if you're going to have that money available to pay down your loan. So if you don't have it, then your payment has to go up to reflect that original amount. Now, here you are, you're making this purchase based on your knowledge, and your knowledge has been set for you by the salesperson. Because let's just say you don't you know about solar because you see panels on houses when you're driving around in the city. Maybe you talk to people who have solar, maybe you have family members that have solar, but what do you really know about it? You only know what you've heard, and you only know what the sales rep told you. So your knowledge expectation was set up by the salesperson. And if that person lied to you, now you're going to be upset when month 18 comes and you did not pay your loan down by that amount that you were expecting to get. So now instead of a bill for 281, your bill is probably going to be 345. And I'm just making up numbers here, but your bill is going to be higher. When in actuality, the right thing to do, I think the right thing to do is to sell you solar, explain it all to you properly, explain the payment amounts, make sure that you understand how the tax credit works. And if for some reason you do not have cash available, now keep in mind, as I am talking to you, you are not depending on getting the tax credit money in your hand because it's not coming. But maybe in 18 months, you will have access to that same amount of money and be able to pay your loan down and keep your payment where it is. So they'll start it out low. But for me, I think that the right thing to do, if I've done a good job in helping you to understand solar, your home has been qualified. We know that your roof pitch is good. We know that the direction of your roof is good. And we know that we can customize a system that will really help you. Once you know everything, I've been totally transparent, and you decide, yes, I want solar. Because even if I can lower my bill by $200 a month, I'm good with that. So now you're agreeing to buy solar. So what I am going to do is we're going to go over this contract. We're going to make sure that you understand that the cost of the system is $30,000, okay? And your rebate is $9,000, okay? And if you pay $9,000 towards your system to buy down that amount by $9,000 by month 18, then your bill will go down. So what I'll do is start you out at the higher amount. If that higher amount is 345, I'm going to show you that we'll start here. If you by chance have the money to pay down your loan by that 30%, then your payment will come down at month 18. That's how I would do it. I would start you out at the higher payment amount because in my mind, let the price be the price. Why would you? Now, this is my mind. If you choose the lower amount and you know that you're not going to be able to pay that loan down in 18 months. And so at month 18, you know that your payment is going to go up and you're okay with that, then that is absolutely fine. We can do that. But I just don't want you to be expecting your payment to remain the same if you have not paid the money to buy down the loan amount. Okay. So that's me. That's how I work. I make sure my solar customers understand that they do have an option. And even if you're not able to pay it down by 30%, whatever you have, if you pay down any amount, then that loan will be re-amortized and you will still have a different payment amount. It may not go up, it won't go up to that full amount because you've paid something. So I hope that that makes sense to you. I hope that it helps you to understand a little bit about the game that's being played out here, because when you hear that, you can get solar free, when you hear that you're going to get a 30% tax credit, and when you hear that, it sounds good. When you hear that, your electricity bill is going to go down, or you may not even have an electricity bill some months, it may just come in at zero. That's exciting. And that's the reason that you want to go solar, because what's the problem? The problem is that the electricity bills are high. And many of us believe that they are too high. Okay. And so when it's time to pay a $500 electricity bill or a $400 electricity bill, I've even had some people tell me that they've had bills for $1,000. I had one customer who had a bill coming in at $900. And so when I gathered his information, I'm like, well, he's really using a lot of kilowatts. Why? What's causing this? Because sometimes before you get solar, it may be reasonable to winterize or weatherize your house. That means that we are going to come in and we're going to look at your windows and make sure that there are no drafts. Okay, because if you're living in a house that is 25 years old and the windows are the original windows, more than likely you need new windows. And if you can't afford new windows right now, then maybe we can do something to seal up the drafts to keep energy from escaping through these drafty windows. Sometimes, we can go in and we can put sealant in your air ducts, okay? And you're not losing energy that way through your attic. Sometimes you may need a new air conditioner system. If your house is 25 years old and your air conditioner unit is 25 years old, maybe you've had to work on it once or twice. So maybe we've got a problem there. So we need to check that out. What about your doors? What about the seal around your doors? So there are a few ways that energy may be escaping from your home. So maybe we can come in and we can check all of that out and we can weatherize. Once we do that, then let's wait a couple of months and get a couple of more bills in to see if that helped at all. If it did help, good. The question now is, did it help enough that I'm not so mad when I have to pay that bill? Because that's the goal. We want you to be happy in your home, and we want you to be able to use your air conditioning to stay cool in the summer and use your heat to stay warm in the winter, and not really, have to compromise on whether or not I've got to put on more clothes or do I need a heavier blanket. Just be comfortable in your own home. And if we've done or helped you to do everything that you can to make sure that energy is not escaping, then you're good. Now, some of you may say, Robin, do you sell solar energy? Do you sell solar panels? Yes, I do. I do. But remember, my passion is for education. My passion is for making sure that homeowners understand solar energy, what it is, what it's not. Is it good for me? Is my home a good candidate for solar? Is my roof, will my roof support solar? So if your roof won't support solar, but you want solar, then what does that mean? That means we have to install a new roof before we add solar. And if that's something you can do, fine. But if you can't do it, I am not going to put solar panels on a roof that won't support it. So, we've got to make this make sense. Okay. And solar will work. It works if you work it. Okay. Just remember that. So, so I'm going to take a breath here. Because you all know I get so excited about solar energy that it makes me want to cry sometimes. I actually feel the emotion well up in my gut. And when that happens, it is very exciting for me because I know that I am doing something that is good for people. I'm doing something that is worthwhile to me, and I'm making a difference. And that's what I want. So, yes, I do sell solar energy. Yes, solar will provide an excellent livelihood. But I am not out here to sell solar just to take your money and to make money, because I have to take your money to make money. So when that finance company gets involved, okay, and when they actually advance the money for these panels to be installed on your rooftop, then I get paid. That's when I get paid. And when I get paid, I want to be able to eat well and not be concerned as to whether or not I harmed anybody. I want to be able to sleep at night and not have nightmares about, did I take food out of somebody's mouth just to make a sale? That is not what I do. What I do is what I love. And what I love is making sure that you understand how to protect yourself against all of the solar scams that are out here. And I know they're out here because I talk to people every day who have problems. Another part of what I do is I advocate for homeowners and help them sometimes out of bad deals, or at least I'm able to help them understand the steps that they need to take to be able to follow through with getting information or whatever it is. But I'm gonna be all right. I'm always going to be all right. I always have been, and I am more than positive that I always will be. And I don't have to cheat or steal from anybody in order to make a good living. So thank you for that. And as you're listening to me, if you have any comments, you want to put them in the chat. I mean, I'm right here. I can read them and we can have a discussion, or you're always welcome to call me. 214-497-7440 is my number. If by chance my phone were to ring right now, I would answer, and just know that anytime you call and we're actually live on the air, that you will be a live caller. And I think that is good for all of us. And all we're doing is just sharing information. We are teaching um, all about solar. Now, listen, for those of you who are in the Dallas Fort Worth Metroplex area, and I will be keeping you in touch. Guess what I am about to do, and I am so excited about it. I am about to host a town hall meeting all about solar. Okay, this is the first time that I have made this public, and I hope those of you who are listening and you're in the immediate Dallas Fort Worth area, that you will come and join me and tell your friends. For those of you who are on Nextdoor, all of these neighborhood Facebook sites or neighborhood sites where you talk about what's going on in the community. Sometimes I go onto Nextdoor. Sometimes I go onto the Cedar Hillian, and I read and I see people who are asking questions about solar energy and whether or not they should get solar panels. And they want to know, if anybody has solar, can you tell me something about it? Now, it's a challenge for me to be on those sites daily or consistently, but I'm going to do better by that, because it's important for me to make sure that I am visible and available to the people who need me or who want more information about solar. But if you are on any of those sites, and you hear people talking about solar, send them over to me, Robin Fafme, 214-497-7440. But I have not chosen the date yet, but I believe it's going to happen in June, probably closer to the end of June. I'll have a date soon, and we're actually going to host a town hall meeting all about solar with me, Robin Fafme, and I am so excited. I mean, excited beyond measure, because I know that what I have to do is find ways to be in the community talking about this. Yes, I'm here every Thursday at 6:30, and I do my very best to be consistent. And I appreciate those of you all who are listening. But we've got to pump it up. We've got to fire it up. And we've got to get out there and meet more people and talk all about solar, so that we can mitigate any problems before they even start. Um, Seniors should not be taken advantage of the way that they are being taken advantage of by corrupt salespeople. And that's just what they are. They're corrupt salespeople selling solar, making money, and doing harm to people in our community. So, I'm against that. I am against, anyone who's out here taking advantage of homeowners, and especially senior homeowners, just to make money. So I'm not for that. But I believe that what you want is a clear understanding about solar energy, so that you can lower and or eliminate your electric bill and be able to work it. You know, Add solar panels to your home and know exactly what you have to do to work it out. So, tell me what you all might think about the town hall meeting. I am excited about it. I will be starting production on that on probably Monday. Today is Thursday, so I've already made the decision. It's been rolling around in my head for a little while. And, the only way it's going to happen is if I step out there and do it. So watch out, because here I come. And then hopefully, and if any of you have situations, groups or organizations where you would be wanting a speaker to speak about solar energy, feel free to call me, 214-497-7440. But also be aware that I do talk about more than just solar. And one of the things that I like to share with people is that it is just never too late to live your dream. I am 65, and I never thought that I would be starting something brand new in my life, and that I would be so in love with what I am doing. So, all of you who have those ideas in your mind about things that you have wanted to do forever, but you just never did it, do it. That's my challenge to you. Do it. And you will find that once you make the commitment to it, it will work itself out to your advantage. I promise that. And I'm going to tell you another thing. Oh, Lord, I really love being me. I would hope that everybody listening is able to say that because if I love being me, that means that I'm living my life in a way that I can share it transparently and that I can be of encouragement to others. I have this lady in my group, one of my business groups, and whenever I ask her, "Well, how are you?" she'll say, "I'm doing really good, and if I was any better, I would be you." That excites me to no end because I love being Robin. Okay, I love it. I love it. And I would hope that, yep, you heard all this stuff about solar tonight. That's been informative, but I would hope that, what I just said finds its way into your heart and inspires you to know that you are enough. You are. You are enough. And so, life is still, you're breathing, right? As long as you're breathing, it's still happening. And if it is still happening, if life is still happening, then you still have opportunities. So I don't care if all you want to do is go sit down and eat an ice cream cone. Do that. Okay? Because a lot of times we will neglect doing the things that we want to do for ourselves because we're giving ourselves away to other people and other things and other situations. When here's what I know for a fact: you can only take care of other people as well as you take care of yourself. So, if you are not taking good care of you, then you can't be expected to take good care of anybody else. And I am excited about my life. I'm excited about, the town hall meeting that's coming up. I'm excited about all of you who are listening. I'm excited because you're excited as you're listening to me. And I'm excited that you are actually going to tell people. I know this lady, her name is Robin Fahmy, and she sells solar energy, but she does more than sell solar energy. She wants to make sure that homeowners are educated and that we know all about solar so that when we sit at the table with anyone who is selling solar to us, that buying experience is now equalized. We have enough knowledge now to qualify the salesperson as much as they are using their skills and their tools to qualify us to see if we're a good fit. And sometimes, even if they don't qualify you, they will still take advantage of you. And what Miss Robin does is helps us to understand how not how not to put our heads in the lion's mouth. Okay? You got that? Because once they got you, once your head is in the lion's mouth, you better not be wiggling too much because what'll happen is you might pull back, but your head ain't coming with you. And I know that might be corny as all get out, but it's okay because you understand what I'm saying. Okay? That is it. So we are just about at the end of another episode. And I guess what I really want you to take from this episode, from this time together, is that I am anti sales representatives, solar energy sales representatives who would take advantage of you. I ain't down with that. Don't believe in that. So whenever there is an opportunity to write or make a correction to a situation like that, then let's do it. And what I want you to do, whoever you sit down with, even me, even if you were to sit down with me and I were to explain solar to you and you decided you wanted to buy it, me or anybody, don't sign that paperwork the first day. Do not, do not sign the paperwork. Ask for a copy of the information and then go to sleep. Wake up the next day and take a look at it and see if it is still resonating with you. See if you have any further questions. Maybe, during the night, you thought about something that you didn't think of. Because remember, even if you did sign it, you do have a 3-day right to cancel. Okay, you have 3 days. So if you sign tonight, which is the 25th, so you have 3 days from the 25th, which would be the 25th to the 26th is 1 day. 26th to 27th is 1 day. And the 27th to the 28th is 1 day. So you would have to make sure that you sign that cancellation paperwork before midnight on the 3rd day and make sure that it is into that company by that time. Because if you sign it, but you don't send it to them, it's not valid. So you need to sign your cancellation notice 3 days after signing before midnight of that 3rd day and get it back in to that company so that they can cancel you. Okay. Now, a lot of times, sales representatives, solar energy companies, they won't even, some of them don't even leave you with a contract. Some of them do not leave you with a notice of right to cancel. And so these are things that you need to ask about. So now that you know that, what are you going to do? If you're sitting with somebody, you're going to ask them, what about my right to cancel? I was talking to my sister the other day, and she had someone come in who was putting in a new alarm system. And they were talking to her about what they were doing. She asked, well, where's my contract? And the lady was saying, well, we'll send you over something to sign and it will confirm what we've talked about. She says, well, no, I think you are infringing on my consumer rights. See, she's my sister. And she knows because I teach well. I have taught her well. My family, they know. Get a contract, make sure you look at it, make sure you understand what's in it. So, this particular alarm system company, they were like, well, we don't really usually do that. My sister's like, well, it doesn't matter if you normally do it or not. I have consumer rights, and my consumer rights say that I should have in writing whatever it is that you're selling to me. And that's all I want, is for you all to have the knowledge. That's what we're talking about. We want you to have the knowledge to be able to protect yourself. Okay. But do not sign the very first day. I don't care if I spend 2 hours with you talking about solar and you want to buy it. Don't sign it. Okay. Do not sign it. Go to sleep. Wake up tomorrow. Call me, say, Miss Robin, it sounds like a good deal. I still feel good about it. So let's do it. Then we'll get back together because, another day is not going to hurt me. And so if you have sales representatives who are just beating you down to get you to make the deal right now, that's a sign that you should not make the deal right now. Okay. So we are just about out of time. And again, I want to say thank you so much. I am so happy and so grateful, as always, for the time that you allow me to speak to you. And I wish you well. I wish you all a good night. And I am looking forward to meeting you in June at the town hall meeting all about solar with Robin Fafney. So, if you have any questions in the meantime before next Thursday, feel free to call me 214-497-7440, and I will surely answer. If I don't, leave me a message and I will call you back. So, with that, I am going to say good night.